Not being funny, Dad, but if I remember, you only actually played in the playoffs once, didn't you? Back with Exeter, knocked out in the semis. Yeah. I don't know that you're the man to talk to about this. I think I've got this one. We're Conference National. Here we come. Hello and welcome to part 9 of the Bolton battle. I'm Kev and it's playoff semi-final day. Nothing's happened since you were last with me because you were last with me for our very last match. And now we've got to beat Darlington over 2 legs. I can't remember how we did against them the last time we played them. And I've already pushed past the little pre-match dealie that it gives me. Is there a way to go back to that? I don't know that there is. We're going to have to look back at our fixtures, aren't we? Right, where are Darlington? Where are they? Darlington. Easy to spot. They have the silly numbers after their name. Okay, we lost 5-3 at home to them. How did we do away? Where are they for the away? We lost 2-0 away. Okay, so 7-3 on aggregate in normal league fixtures. Oh, this isn't going to go well, is it? Of all the teams we could have played, this is the team that we're playing today. Still forced into the 3-5-2 system because of the lack of Tom Bannister. Interestingly, I've just won the Manager of the Month again. So the 2 months where I've been forced into playing this system, we've been in good form and I've won Manager of the Month. I wonder what might have happened if we'd have done this all season long. So our team, for our most important 2 games of the season and the most important games of my very young managerial career, we've got Jordan Leach in goal, a back 3 of Kane, O'Brien and Fletcher, Lamb and Scriven as our wing backs, and then our usual midfield 3 of Hodgson, May and Glover in behind Priest, and Callum Hipwell finally comes back into the team to start the game. Pierce Millington's been dropped. I'm not entirely sure which way around to play these two. I think I did that earlier in the season, but looking at it, that seems to make a bit more sense. I think Priest is going to be the target man, Hipwell as a poacher, and if it doesn't work out, we'll swatch it around. Which that's manager talk. If you don't get that, manager speak. We learn that when we're doing our coaching badges. Which, incidentally, Bolton won't let me do yet, because apparently I'm too needed on the training ground. Can I show you training? I know this isn't the playoff semi-final excitement you were hoping for, but we're all fitness coaches. All I can do is fitness coaching. Look, there's me, fitness coach. Assistant manager, he's a fitness coach. Our fitness coach, he's quite good at fitness coaching. Under 21s manager, let's not worry about him. But in what world am I needed on that training ground? The only thing I can do, we've got 2 people who can do it better. Ridiculous. Let's go and play the playoff semi-final. And then I might get to do a coaching badge at some point. Right. Oh, Hipwell's on the top league goal scorer. Tell you what, for someone who doesn't ever play any games for us, really should have probably played him a bit more often. Let's go and win a football match. That's what we want to do. Oh, see, they're playing a scary-looking system that has the potential to batter us. This might be why they scored so many goals against us before. If they're playing a front 3 against our back 3, that's a recipe for disaster for us. I hope we don't throw it all away in the home. I don't like being at home first either. I know it's because they finished above us in the league, but it was only on goal difference. We finished on the same points. I think it would have been nicer for us to be away. Glover's just scored a goal. We're 5 minutes in. Andre Glover, his 7th goal of the season. My one complaint about him was always that he didn't score as many goals as Frankie Penn, but he offered other stuff to the team. He's scored about 3 goals in the last 3 or 4 games now. Andre Glover's turned into a goal machine exactly when it matters, and it's Scriven with the cross, who's maybe a bit of a controversial choice at right back, considering Paul Johnson's got about 20 assists so far this season. But Scriven's just picked himself one up there, and we're 1-0 up. Can we? Oh, I wonder if my dad's here. I mean, he's got an England squad to pick in the next week or so. He's probably got other things on his mind, but you know, this is little David's big day out. Well, it's in Bolton. There's 19,000 here, by the way, apparently. So, if nothing else, even if we get battered, it's a nice little payday for the club. And rubbish. That's not what we wanted. Does this have away goals in it? I haven't looked at the rules. I don't intend on looking at the rules. If we have to rely on away goals, we're negative Nellies anyway. We need to just beat them. I mean, they've scored. That's 8 goals they've scored against us this season now. I mean, of all the teams we could have played, how did it end up being this one? For goodness sake, I want to put the match information. Oh, who's injured? Scriven's injured. Right, at least it's probably the one position where we have a ready-made replacement who can just come straight in. It was the one big coin toss. So if we're going to pick up just the one injury during these playoffs, I suppose he's the one. But he did get that assist earlier in the game, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, no. Hipwell's just made a mistake. Pierce Millington wouldn't have done that, would he? Oh, don't let it end this way. I don't know that I've ever won the playoffs in my entire history of Football Manager. I'm just rubbish at them, and I don't understand why. We're the form team going into these playoffs. We've raced up this league. We've not lost in about 6 or 7 games, and here we are in the playoffs, bottling our faces off. Oh, they're going to score again, aren't they? Oh, what do we do? What do we do here, everybody? Hodgson, do something with right. Johnson, we need to an equaliser just before half time would be very handy, but Johnson's, I mean, that's a panic pass. O'Brien's massively out of position. We're a bit all over the place, and their front three is ripping us apart the way I feared it would, and we're 3-1 down. What do we do though? We don't have a left back. The only guy who could potentially play at left back has just had to come on playing at right back, and because he's on, we don't have anyone else who can play right back now either. Basically, we've got 2 full-backs at the club. One's injured and one's on the pitch now. We have no choice but to play this back three today. Do we stick the full-backs forward as wingers and just really go for it? Hipwell's in. We've got one back. I mean, we had the 5-3 defeat at home earlier in the season. This is shaping up to be just as ridiculous. I mean, I don't care how we get to the final. If we have to win 11-10, then that's fine. But it would be nice to think we could be a bit more solid defensively, kind of from this point onwards, at the very least in the second leg. But at least we've got a little bit of something to clutch onto at half-time to try and give us something to work with in the second half. Everyone's looking fired up. Nearly 20,000 people in the ground for what's essentially a Conference North game. We're too big for this division. If we don't go up, that's just silly. We're the biggest team at this level. And that kind of talk is really going to endear us to the other teams down here with us and really make them be happy for us as and when it eventually happens. Right, Adam May's coming off. Gavin Stewart. I don't know that you've met Gavin Stewart yet. He's actually our club captain. He's only 19 years old. He was injured at the start of the season, and I kind of forgot he existed when he got fit again. He's not great, but he looks like he could end up being quite good. He's the 4th best central midfielder at the club, and one of them's playing at centre-back, so really he should be first reserve to Hodgson and May, and he kind of has been, but these two just don't ever drop out the side, so that's why you've not met him. But there he is. The club captain's on to lend his experience at the ripe old age of 19 with about 15 starts in his career under his belt. It's the game for him to come into. Oh, come on, can we get an equaliser? We didn't really want... I mean, even a draw's rubbish for the first leg at home, but we need to... Right, Millington's coming on. He's coming on for Hipwell. I mean, he's going to come on now and prove a point the way Hipwell always does. Come on, Pierce. Get a goal. Show me why I'm wrong. A last-minute equaliser would be lovely. Right, Lamb with the throw to Priest. Can we get that last-minute equaliser? No, because Hodgson doesn't misplace passes very often, but he has a couple of times today now, and it's very upsetting. He's in with a good tackle there, though. Stewart finds Hodgson again. This is some lovely short passing from Bolton. Johnson with the cross, and Millington has done it. He's offside. Piers Millington. Stupid idiot. Oh, he's going to score here, though. Millington to Stewart. I mean, the excitement's gone. That was the move, really. And his stupid offside feet, how much is that going to come back and haunt us as we go into the second leg? A goal down, away from home against a team who've now scored 10 goals against us in 3 games. We are stuffed. Right, a couple of changes for the second leg. Nothing drastic. Johnson comes in for Scriven at right back because Scriven's broken his leg or something. He's out forever. He'll be out beyond the end of his contract. So that's the last we've ever seen of Leon Scriven, probably. I've swapped Hipwell and Priest over up front just because... Try him that way round to see if they get more goals that way. And I've brought Philip Price in for Kyle and Kane just because we've conceded 10 goals against this lot in 3 games. Let's try something different. The only different thing we can try is trying a different defender. Who, I mean, there's not much in it between him and Kane. Maybe slightly better, but certainly played less games for us, less experience. But, you know, he might be awesome. Might be the difference maker. He's not fit. Fantastic. So he might not make it to the end of the game. Oh, we're not the favourites anymore. We were the favourites for the first leg. Remember those days when people thought we might get to the playoff final? Not going to happen now, is it? But, you know, we've got, what's that, 46 goals between our 2 strikers and another at least 10 coming from midfield. We've got goals in us. We're fitter than them today as well. They've obviously not had a rest day between the two games like we did. I mean, we've got 10% conditioning on them in pretty much every spot there. Will that be telling as the game goes on, especially if we manage to pull one back and push it on into extra time, assuming there's no away goals, which I don't think there is. I feel like I've asked this question before, and I don't think you get away goals in the playoffs. But I guess before any of that, we need to actually score a goal. And as we've not had a highlight in these first 15 minutes, that's a bit of a worry. Come on, lads. Where's your passion? They're supposed to be the tired team who should just be sat back and defending, really, because, I mean, they've got a player below 80% already. Michael Holden. Never heard of him, but he's tired. Oh, okay, that was them attack. No, what colour are we? We're the blue ones. Okay, so it's them attacking now. Right, we need to win the ball back. Lamb can't get a tackle in. Someone needs to get a tackle in. How is the more tired team knocking the ball around us as if we're not there? Somebody get a tackle in. For goodness sake, don't let them score. Because now we've got even more to do. We need to pull 2 goals back. We've got goals in us. We talked about that before the game. 46 goals between our 2 strikers. And Pierce Millington, super striker, is on the bench as well with his 2 goals in 20 games. So, you know, if it really comes down to it, we can bring him on for a last-minute offside or scuffed clear-cut chance, maybe. We'll have to bring him on now because there'll be an injury probably because the football manager gods are cruel to me sometimes. I mean, I'm out of ideas. If anyone's got any ideas, tweet them at me. I realise you're like 4 days in the future, but I don't know. Anything at the moment would be helpful. We're not doing any. We're not creating anything. We've not had a clear-cut chance yet. We've only had 4 shots all game. We can't get hold of the ball, which is part of the problem. I mean, we've played so well, and why would it fall and it be our bogey team who we come up against in the playoff semi-final? Because we own all the other teams in this division. But Darlington, they beat us a lot. They're better than we are. I mean, we're just not... Our passes aren't getting to the right men. I mean, I don't know what our pass completion is today. Do we see that on these stats? Horrendous. But, I mean, worse, better than theirs, apparently. Oh, if they score... What can I throw? I've got loads of old batteries. Old batteries against a garage door. That's going to be a loud noise, isn't it? If you've got headphones wearers would complain, wouldn't they? I need to put them down because when they score again, I will throw them. So, mate, this lamp eats batteries. Don't buy a battery-powered lamp. I think you can get lamps that plug into the mains these days, and if you are looking to get into YouTube, might I suggest one of those rather than one that just eats batteries? Costs an absolute fortune in batteries. Oh, we need 3 goals. Where on earth are we going to get 3 goals from? We just don't look like getting into this game. What a sorry, pathetic end to what's actually been a really good first season with Bolton. And I suppose we have to come back to what I've said a few times before, and it sounds like such an excuse-making, cop-out pile of turd. But we do have the experience from my dad, where Boston went up unexpectedly in his first season and then got relegated again the next year. We scored a goal. Perhaps I don't need to get my excuse speech in yet. File that away for just a minute. Johnson with the cross. Priest, I mean, it's a tidy little finish. I think that's Priest's 26th goal of the season, which is not a bad return, is it really? I know most of them were in his FA Cup run, where I think, was it 9 or 10 goals in the FA Cup and another 4 in the FA Trophy. But he has actually started scoring goals in the league every now and again, just recently. We really need another goal now to have any chance. I'm going to start my speech again. Right, Johnson, can he whip across? And he does. He finds Priest again, and that's a good save from their goalkeeper. We're actually starting to test them a little bit now, though, and create a few chances, and they're all coming through Johnson on this right-hand side, who we know has got assists in him for fun. He's got a great cross on him. We just need to get him in a position where he can get those crosses in. Priest now to Glover, and it's 2-2. And we do have a chance. I mean, Glover, he's just scoring every game at the moment. This is mad. I don't know where this goal-scoring run has come from for him, but he is just banging them in late. That's his 8th goal of the season, but that run probably only started in about February, March time, when he finally got his first goal for us. Right, a goal now, and we're level even if there's away goals in this thing. So it's not all over. We're in the ascendancy. Come on, lads. I don't even know if it's Wembley, but we want a playoff final. We want to get promoted. I know I've made my excuse, and I might make the excuse again in a minute about not wanting to go up and get relegated straight back down. But that's more fun than not going up in the first place, surely. At least we get to celebrate a promotion. Plus, I'd like to think I've learnt my lessons from last time. Right, we need to make some changes. We need to freshen this up a little bit. And this is what we were talking about before the game. Darlington are more tired than we are at this point. So hopefully that will be telling at some point. Right, we're going to bring Stewart on for Hodgson, because Hodgson's not having a very good game. And we're going to bring Millington on for Hitman. I mean, both of them look like substitutions that have weakened us. But more important than the quality of those players necessarily at this point, with 20 minutes to go and a very tired Darlington team, is that we can bring in two players who are close to full condition and hopefully use them to create something and maybe just nab us a winner in this game, but an equaliser overall. Let's push this on into extra time. Come on, we've got 15 minutes. Yes, we've still not played very well. They've had 3 clear-cut chances and loads more possession. But we want it more, don't we? Do we want? How much do we want it? Come on, all those fans. That's not disappointing. We're going to bring Beatson on for Lamb, just to freshen things up on that left-hand side. We've got a perfectly good wing-back to bring on, so why not bring him on and get the ball? We're running down that side a little bit more. We've got less than 10 minutes. We need a goal. Come on. I wasn't expecting it to be this close at the death after the way this game started, but again, we're in that really annoying situation where we've got a chance, but I can just sort of see it drifting away because we're not doing anything now. Come on, Bolton. We've got 3 minutes. Nothing. Beats him with the corner. Can we... Oh, Chris Fletcher from a corner. He's just signed a new contract as well. He was one of the ones who was holding out, but he has just signed a contract for next season. And he's just scored one of the most important goals in the history of Bolton Wanderers. And it's 5-5 on aggregate. And, I mean, we've scored the last 3 goals in this tie. Surely that's got to demoralise Darlington and give us the edge going into this extra time period. Plus, we're the fitter team. Right. Calm thoughts. Now go and beat them. Come on, lads. We want this playoff final now. I mean... We've actually shown proper heart and determination to get this far. Ooh. We were fitter, but we're all pretty much of a level now. I think it's because we're doing pressing and closing down stuff. We've tired ourselves out. Our one advantage that we had is slipping away from us, although they've still got more players in the 40s and 50s than we have, I guess. Everyone's knackered now. Come on, we don't want this to go to penalties. Penalties scare me. I know we've already won a penalty shootout this season, which, again, might be the thing that gives us an edge over Darlington. We've been there, done that. But I'd much rather just get another goal now and not have to worry about all that nonsense. But there's not been a highlight in that first half of extra time, and that's just silly. Don't lose it now, lads. Come on. I mean, they're just tired and desperate. They've just lumped that forward towards no one in particular. Come on, now would be a really nice time to just nick a goal and just completely mug Darlington in this tie. And the cross comes in from Johnson. It's back to May, out to Johnson again. He crosses it into Priest, and we have scored. It is 4-2 on the night, 6-5 on aggregate. We've got 7 minutes to hold on, and we're in the playoff final. I mean, this is just a typical Bolton move from the season. Johnson with the cross, and Priest is on the end of it. That's how we've scored about 30 goals this season, that exact move. That's what those two players do. And now we just need to hold on. Now we want there to be away goals, because if they come back into it, we're still ahead. But I don't think there are away goals, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, Johnson with 2 assists today, saying, look, it doesn't matter that Leon Scriven is broken in 2. I'm back, and I'm an assist machine. Here I am, and I think we might be in the playoff final. Glover just needs to keep hold of the ball. Do not let them score now. As O'Brien just lumps it forward. That's exactly what we needed. And that's the full-time whistle. And we're into the playoff final. Now we just need to find out who we're playing. Oh, and breathe. Right. Who have we got then? Was the other tie taking place at the same time? I assume it was. I don't even know when the playoff final is. Presumably next weekend, which is kind of a bit fine with my old man. He needs to be sorting his England squad out. Hopefully it's at Wembley, because then he can do his warm-up games and then watch the playoff final while he's there and cheer his son on. But we are playing Macclesfield, who we know we've just beaten in the league. If you don't remember, let's have a look at the proof. We just beat Macclesfield 3-1 on the last day of the season. Now we're playing them in the final. When is it? A week away. Ooh, this is getting exciting. If you've enjoyed today's episode, and how could you not? It was another one of those magical Football Manager moments that deserves a like. That. If this isn't a 100-like episode, I don't know what is. So let's please pop a like on there if you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for the playoff final.